The season 3 freaking patch notes are out. I'm super excited for these. They came out a little bit earlier today, which I was surprised about, but I'm not really sure what started that. But let's get into it. Let's get straight in. Global, there's a couple like global stuff changing up. We're just gonna get straight into the meat, bro. The Ricochet anti-cheat. Earlier this month, the Ricochet anti-cheat team revealed new detections and tools. Basically, the anti-cheats get a little better. They teased this a little bit, but we'll see how well it actually works. The Black Cell Battle Pass, we were talking about this. Basically, this was announced a couple days ago, where like in short term, it's basically the equivalent of like a $90 pack for $30. So you can buy it if you want. You don't have to. Obviously, we'll get it. I'll actually give away. I have a free code for the Black Cell thing since we got those little cards yesterday, so we'll give that out on stream after this. So automatic spin for players looking for an alternative to manual battle pass token spending. Basically, this is really nice, dude. The battle pass was really basically complicated when you were going through it, so it should automatically spend your points now, which is super nice. Obviously, you can opt in and out of that if you want to just go straight to the end or just get everything in order. Events, the trophy hunt, new limited time event. Players and enemy combatants will drop trophies when eliminated. Trophies can be found via loot. Trophies must be collected and secured at an upload station to add them to your bank. This happens in multiplayer as well, and Battle Royale, where operators and AI combatants drop trophies when eliminated. Basically the same thing here. It happens in DMZ as well. That's not too bad. Progression. Progression has been updated for season 3. You can now be level 500. Wait, does this mean you could reach level 650? That's an odd like number. Am I tripping? What level were we previously able to hit? Was it 250? I feel like 650 is a weird number, unless I'm reading this wrong. Challenges, new weapon unlock challenges for season 2 battle pass weapons. The Hemlock, get 20 long shot kills. That makes it a little bit easier to get. KV Broadside, get 10 one-shot kills with the shotguns, a little bit easier to get as well. And the dual Kodachis, get 20 kills with the melee weapons. I don't think I've even unlocked those. Oh, it was 450. Okay, I guess 650 is not weird if the level was 450, so that's not too weird. New Camo and Mastery challenges for the Cronin Squall and the FGX Imperium. I'm not gonna lie, don't know what that is. That sounds like some made up stuff. Prestige Secret Book challenges, weapons. So this is the intervention that they're adding, or basically like the OG. I think it's from Modern Warfare 2, the sniper rifle, which is, you know, the game that we're playing in the future. FGX Imperium sniper rifle, engineered destruction at its finest. Anti-personnel bolt action sniper rifle intervenes in 10 situations at hardening 4 to 8 rounds. This means, since it's bolt action, that later on in the patch notes we'll see that this should be a one-shot sniper, because it's bolt action. All the bolt action snipers one-shot if you put the explosive bullets in them. So that's gonna be super nice. You will be the one-shot with this sniper, so hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not too OP, but hopefully it's good. What are we seeing a picture of here? Is this a new shotgun? Oh, the Cronin Squall. That's what that thing was saying. Okay, the Cronin Squall battle rifle. So it looks like an R90 from what was that? Is that Modern Warfare 2019, chat? The R90 or I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically like the 2-hit shotgun. It was the doof. That's what it was. A bullpup semi-automatic rifle chambered in 6'8". I don't know how to read. Do you say 6'8"? I'm basically 6'8" tall. Wrath and designed for distance shooting and exceptional damage output. Distance shooting, it looks just like a shotgun. Weapon balancing. Season 3 changes add more responsiveness to movement and fluidity of combat, including the reduction to intensity of head damage feedback. For example, your camera shake or HUD overlays. We have also decreased the magnitude on some of the more punitive attachment cons. We feel like this will be a result in the expansion of the attachment viability that will enable a broader spectrum of playstyles to excel, including a change to explosive ammo, which allows bolt action sniper rifles to down players in one shot. As we head into the season 3 reloaded, we'll be keeping a close eye on weapons, equipment, kill streaks, among other mechanics to ensure fair, fun, and strategically rich gameplay. That's super nice, bro. Like, basically what it's saying, I think here is really big as well, where you'd get shot and you'd get a lot of damage feedback is what they called it, which is nice. I mean, basically when you get shot, you don't want to get jump scared. You want to be able to react to what what's happening. So hopefully that's nice. I didn't really see that as too big of an issue, except for when you were getting shot by AI. That felt really bad. And also obviously the one shot with the explosive ammo is super nice. So we'll keep going. The Hemlock got nerfed. A little bit of a nerf. Doesn't seem to be too crazy. I mean, all damage ranges, basically, you just need to hit one or two more bullets, whereas you wouldn't have to previously. M13B, headshot damage slightly reduced. So would this be it looks like not really much happened with the M13. There's like another way to see basically if it's good or bad. I think if you type clean in front of the patch notes, it'll tell you. This doesn't look like too much of a nerf, to be honest. STB got a buff. The STB was not good before, so we'll see. I mean, this is leg damage, lower torso, mid-range. I mean, this is pretty good. The TAC 56, headshot damage increase. I don't think the TAC even needed a buff, so I'm surprised there, to be honest. I think if the Hemlock is really bad after, the TAC could be the next AR that people are running around with, because it's really good. Also, obviously, the STB, if these changes are nice for it. Battle rifles, the FTAC Recon, movement speed increase, semi-auto leg damage increase. What the hell is a semi-auto minimum armor damage increased, Warzone 2 only, per torso damage increase. Basically, the FTAC Recon got a pretty big buff, but the gun is bad. It's that 10-shot battle rifle. I don't think it's that good, but I mean, we'll see if people start running around with it. Lockman 762, movement speed increase. This is good. I'm liking how all of these guns are getting movement speed increase. Ooh, I'm surprised to see this. So the SO14 got a little bit of a buff, but the TAC V got a buff, and the TAC V was not that bad already. I mean, it has hit multiple nerfs, but the TAC, that's not, I mean, we'll see if this gun comes back, because I mean, it's getting another nerf, and it's got a movement speed increase. We'll see what happens there. I think these are all battle rifles. Yeah. Okay, handguns. The Basilisk, which was the snake shot pistol, didn't get a nerf. Our minimum armor damage got reduced, but that's all they did. You know, the snake shot pistol was pretty OP. It depends on the damage ranges, because obviously from far away it wasn't good, but up close it was crazy. I did notice when you'd shoot someone, no matter like how far away they were, you'd break them. So maybe this is fixing that issue. So maybe this is a bigger change than it seems, but it didn't really get, like, I thought the snake shot rounds would get nerfed, and maybe they do like further in. Light machine guns, the RAL LMG. Headshot damage reduced, minimum armor damage, semi-auto head damage. Ooh, so they're basically buffing the semi-auto portion, but nerfing the, you know, auto and headshot damage. So we'll see if the RAL, I don't think, they didn't decrease the auto damage, they're just increasing the semi-auto, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. RPK, close mid damage slightly reduced. So that's the only change they did with the RPK. I'm assuming the RPK is still going to be really good. And the Socken didn't even get changed. That's a good point. So, I mean, the Socken should be really good as well still. Marksman rifles, the Tempest turret. All damage ranges reduced slightly. Close mid damage reduced slightly. A little bit of a nerf. Submachine gun hip spread accuracy increased. ADS, or for the BAS-P, ADS move speed increased. All damage ranges increased. Minimum armor damage added to semi-auto firing mode. I'm wondering why they're adding this, especially to SMGs. Like, no one's going to be tapping their SMG because you're just going to get beat by whatever else they're using. But the BAS-P did need a buff, so I'm glad they buffed it. This is definitely good for the BAS-P here. Lockman sub, headshot damage decreased. Burst fire leg damage increase. Basically a little bit of a nerf here for the Lockman sub, a little bit. It's like a lot of these things aren't getting changed that much. MX9 sprint to fire increase shouldn't make it too much better, especially if there's no more movement speed on it. But keep in mind, also machine gun has better hit spread now, so that's also not included in most of these. Vaznev, headshot damage decreased. Val, headshot damage decreased. Attachments. Oh, okay, so yeah, that's what I was thinking about earlier. The Basilisk snake shot, maximum armor damage added. So basically you're not breaking someone in one shot, hopefully, with the snake shot. It basically add one more bullet you need to shoot, which would make the gun definitely not as good. Explosive bolt action weapons equipped with explosive ammunition are now able to fully down armored players in one shot. Explosive ammunition has also been added to the MCPR 300 progression tree. So chat, when I think about it, the Victus, the new FGX Imperium, and the MCPR are the only bolt action one shot snipers, right? Or is there are there other ones? Am I bugging? The Hemlock 300 blackout got a buff, it seems. Whereas most of these are increased. Long damage decreased. That should be not that bad. Barrel stock and magazine attachment stats are affecting according to how large, small, heavy, light, long, and short are relative to each other in the attachments. In essence, the below changes increase the upsides of most attachment stats while decreasing their downsides, resulting in an overall increase to attachment power level. That's nice. Especially, we saw this like in Season 2 Reloaded, I believe, where they changed the tuning to where you basically couldn't ruin your gun with tuning, because a lot of people don't understand how it works, and I get that, because if you don't play a bunch or you don't look into it too much, it's hard to understand. But this is basically the same thing, where you can't really ruin your gun by putting attachments on it. Obviously, if you're putting the wrong ones on there, it'll still be pretty good. So heavy barrels, ADS speed penalty slightly reduced. Light barrels, muzzle velocity penalty reduced. Short barrels, ADS speed benefit increased. Damage range penalty reduced. Hip fire spread accuracy benefit while moving and firing. Ooh, while moving and firing. That's gonna be interesting. So basically, like, running while gunning is gonna get a little better with your short barrels, which is essentially the ones you're gonna be putting on your submachine guns, I'm assuming. Bipod, ADS penalty ADS speed penalty reduced. I don't think people are going to be running around with the bipod. Laser brightness increase. Probably needed a little bit as the lasers are really good. Large magazines for light machine guns. Handling and movement penalties reduced. So LMG's got a little better. Cast off 545, 60 round magazine. Handling penalty reduced. Cast off 762, a little bit of buff. 50 round drum for the weapon sub got a buff. So we're maybe going back to the 50 round drum on the sub. M13B, 60 round magazine. Handling penalty reduced. Yeah. M16. Basically, every one of these got better. Every single one of these guns you see, you should be using the bigger mag, maybe. I mean, we'll see how existent it is, the changes. Small magazines, movement speed increase, sprint to fire increase. Okay, so they buffed all the large ones, and then the small ones got a lot better here. For the Finnick, a couple things changed here. It doesn't look like the Finnick is going to be that good because, I mean, this is just for the double tap mod. I'm seeing a lot of changes. They're wanting people to single tap their guns essentially, which I thought was pretty interesting. STB single tap mod. I don't think a lot of people are going to be using this. Rear grip for the Basilisk, akimbo Basilisk, maximum armor damage added, so running them akimbo isn't as good, it seems. Stock, heavy stocks, ADS move speed penalty reduced, aiming stability benefit increased, yada yada yada. Let's get to the freaking juice. General blueprints. Proteining is no longer removed from all attachments when altering a protein blueprint. That is definitely needed, where you'd buy these blueprints, you change one thing, and then it was no longer tuned. Bomb squad. Explosive damage mitigation now applies to armor. Warzone 2 only. That's interesting. So bomb squad, which is essentially, chat, what was the old perk called? It'll come to me. But excuse me, bomb squad essentially gets double as good, right? Because there's as much armor as you have health, or maybe a little less. So yeah, EOD. So EOD or bomb squad just got double as good, unless I'm reading that wrong, and I'm probably saying that wrong. But basically, it got a buff. Damage feedback, visual feedback adjusted to increase visibility when taking damage. I like that. Death effects are now visible when killing AI. Diving fire delay reduced for your diving, which is, I like that. Sliding speed slightly increased. You could slide faster now. Maybe we'll have to start sliding around like some demons. Hopefully no slide canceling though. Field upgrades, adjustment, added thermal vision to the tactical camera for night map modes, which I think is going to affect multiplayer gameplay because they are adding some night maps for multiplayer, I believe. Equipment, gas grenades should no longer detonate enemy explosives. I didn't even realize that happened. Claymore, armor damage reduced. Flash grenade, flash effect duration reduced. Frag grenade, one-hit kill radius against fully armored players reduced. There was a one-hit kill for frag grenades? Brother, I would have been running frags every single game. I'd have been restocking hundreds of those bad memagemas if I knew they one-hit killed. And it seems like they still do if it just says it was reduced. Proximity mines, armor damage reduced against crouched or prone players. So basically you can now lay down and dodge proximities. Simtex now kills downed players when stuck. It needed that, bro. You throw a Simtex at a down person, sick them, and it just wouldn't even kill them. Killstreaks. Players watching a kill cam after getting killed by a cruise missile will no longer be looking downwards when they respawn. Reduce the range of screen shakes for precision airstrike explosions. That's super nice. Juggernaut should now be able to see the tablet screen when planting or defusing a bomb. Bomb drone for Warzone 2 only can no longer down fully armored players, which is nice. And cluster mine armor damage reduced. So bomb drone is coming back, it seems, but it got a nerf to where it can't one-shot anymore. Obviously, if they don't have too much armor on, it will one-shot them. But I don't think that's technically a one-shot. Cluster mine, again, no, armor damage reduced. We needed that. Cluster mine's really good. Vehicles. Vehicle windows can now be destroyed by melee attacks. Vehicle tires can now be popped with knives, which is interesting. So if you're going to be like throwing knifing vehicles while they're driving or something. Added a new cinematic music slider. Yes. I love cinematics, but listen, I want to get in the juice. Social group request manager, quality of life improvements for requests to join groups in the social menu and recruit a friend. UI and UX. Player names now appear in the squad list of private battle royale match, which is super nice where the customs wouldn't show you who was in the lobby. Added the ability to preview tracers and death effects that come with the weapon blueprints. Global bug fixes. Weapon bug fixes. Fits an issue with that disallowed tuning on the assault. So this is very basically small problems with each weapon. So if you want to look through these, you can, but a lot of these are going to be very obscure, it seems like. I'm trying to look through and see if I see anything too crazy, but a lot of these, it doesn't seem like people are even going to know about or have an issue with. Vehicle bug fixes. Fix an issue preventing tires on the armored truck from being popped. Fix the minimap icon for the neutral LTV with the turret not having a turret. Again, a couple other obscure things. Yeah. Nothing through here seems too crazy. Killstreak bug fixes. you call them the crossbow bolts and not damage recon drones. People were shooting recon drones and bomb drones with crossbows. Okay, again, a couple other obscure things. Field upgrade bug fixes fixed an issue that prevented armor from being used to DDoS while active. It looks like a lot of these we don't even need to look through too bad. Again, some of these are just bug fixes, stuff like that. Keybind preset allows players to use a predetermined set of keybinds very easily if you want to change all your keybinds with a single click. Several presets are default. This is interesting. That is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that'll save a lot of time where you could just tell people to run a certain keybind preset. They click that and they're all good to go. What is dude, when I see this, I think of like, you know that food that you get at like a food cart? What is that called? A hero? I don't even know what that's called. Bro, it's gotta be bussin', but I've never had it before. Special ops. Okay, we'll go ahead and skip this. Multiplayer. I like multiplayer, but listen, we're here for the freaking juice. Was that all of the Warzone stuff, chat? Was that all the Warzone stuff? Bug fixes Warzone 2. Oh, we're just into Warzone 2 now. Maps. Ashika Island, a cargo ship, and several submarines are now present outside of the port. Gameplay for all modes. Tempered plate carrier, very juicy. Upgrades the player's armor plate carrier to improve armor plate efficiency. Details, player now equips 2 stronger armor plates, down from 3. Each armor plate counts for 75. Can be found in strongholds and loot. Wait, in strongholds. So I'm assuming maybe when you complete a stronghold, you get tempered, which is going to be super nice. Basically, you'll have it every game if you're doing strongholds. Bomb drone balancing, reduce the damage of the bomb drone. So not, yeah, okay, we've already read that. Heavy chopper, re-enable this vehicle in the following modes: standard, duos, trios, and quads. What does standard mean? Is that solo standard? Added new heavy chopper gas cans unique to the vehicle that are required for initial takeoff. Spawn locations for these gas cans will differ between Battle Royale and DMC. 1 of 5 possible spawn locations will spawn heavy gas cans in each match. 1 heavy chopper gas can is included as a guaranteed stronghold mission reward. So when doing a stronghold, you get tempered, which it didn't say guaranteed, so maybe you don't. Maybe you get tempered and you definitely get heavy chopper gas, which I don't think people doing strongholds are going to be too worried about. Subsequent refuelings can be done via gas stations or other heavy chopper gas cans. So basically you need a special gas can to start the heavy chopper, but then you could just resupply at a regular one. This vehicle is now more vulnerable to explosive damage, so maybe we need to be shooting it with missiles. So does this mean that Solos has the heavy chopper, if that's what standard is? That's going to be unfortunate. Gas mask. The gas mask has now been given a slight buffer when the player delays it from being put on and taken off. This should help catch situations where further delay is desired immediately after it was dropped. Interrogation. Decreased the time it took to perform an interrogation to 3 seconds, down from 5. Added a grace period if the down player is immediately eliminated after a successful interrogation. This guarantees that the enemy squad will be pinged at least once, up to 3 times during the grace period. Reminder, keeping the interrogated player alive further will extend its effect. This is super nice, where if you didn't know, you could basically click E or whatever the controller equivalent is when you killed someone to interrogate them and see where their squad is. They're basically buffing it to where more people do it. You also get a guaranteed $1,000 when you do this, which is already already in the game, not something that they just added. Quality of life. Mantle assist improvements. Improve the system that would allow players to mantle over or through objects such as windows. That's beautiful. We need some help with the mantling. Advanced UAV improvements. Enemy players and AI combatants will now appear differently when using the advanced UAV. That's also super nice. And Killstreak banner positioning, like the precision airstrike, appears on the screen. It's been moved to no longer overlap with the player's reticle. Also beautiful, where if you called in a precision or someone called one in on you and you were shooting at someone, it could block it type thing. Bug fixes. Fix an issue that allowed players to clip inside the sentry gun. A couple other things. Fix an issue with mortar strikes not doing enough damage against AIs. Who was mortar striking AIs? Recon bomb drones will now die if the player goes into last stand. Added an item persistence to the stim pistol / rebreather. Now the stim pistol rebreather can be dropped after it's been activated. Fix several issues by the player not having both self revive and self. Oh, there was a big player when you had both a self revive and a stim pistol that it would just kill you instantly. You wouldn't get to use either of them. That was pretty nice. Battle Royale playlist. Duos, trios, quads. Oh, so standard. Wait, chat. They took out solos. They took out solos. Unless standard is solos, which I don't think it is, because standard looks like it basically duos, trios, and quads. That's what standard means. They took out solos. I'm surprised about that. I really enjoy my solos, so hopefully they bring those back. We'll see though. Duos, max players 150, trios max players 150, all regular. Massive Resurgence new, which is the new mode for Al Mazrah. Basically resurgence on the big map. Trios, quads. Ashika Island, you've got solos, duos, and quads, no trios. Modes, new modes. Al Mazrah's got massive resurgence off of launch. I won't read through all this. Basically, it's Ashika Island mixed with the big map. it's the same thing, you know. And then the World Series of Warzone in season. So basically, this is the big tournament that was announced, the LAN in, I don't remember what month they said, but this is gonna be super nice. Grab 2 of your sweatiest friends and start warming up for the stage 1. Basically, anyone can compete for this. There's multiple stages. They had a nice graphic, which I don't know if they'll have in here, but again, it's a nice way to compete. Anyone can do it. You might as well, listen, hey, grab your trio, grab your trio. General, Resurgence private matches, that's gonna be super nice. Maybe we get some tourneys or just some fun in general on Ashika Island. And private match spectating has been enabled for all available maps modes, including. That's gonna be super nice. So you'll be able to basically tab between teams in private match. So we'll see how that works out. Al Mazrah though, standard battle royale, solos, duo, quads, basically all modes. After action report, all players in a squad that complete a match will see an after action report. And bird's eye perk has been re-enabled. Now activates when a player uses a UAV kill streak. Oh, so only when the player uses UAV, not when the whole lobby does. Enemy UAVs no longer trigger bird's eye. UAVs activated by the player while using bird's eye will provide enemy headings. UAV pings activated by the player using bird's eye will be slightly larger. Black Site, the new Gulag. The new Gulag confusingly is named Black Site, so that's what that means. Roughly rectangular asymmetrical map has had several interior spaces and long external routes. Those who want to redeploy will prove their worth on this new yet familiar ground. Keep in mind, chat, for this new Gulag, which is called Black Site, the name is confusing. There is a multiplayer map that is the exact same. So if you want to practice your Gulag, you can do that on the multiplayer map. Does that make any sense? Basically, the multiplayer map for Gunfight, I believe it is the exact same as the new Gulag, which I thought was interesting. I thought was super nice. Gameplay. Also, chat, is the music too loud? I could turn it down if so. Gameplay, all maps, all modes. UAV towers, first seen in DMZ. UAV towers will be activated in the match to provide intel on enemies positioning in the form of several circular UAV sweeps from the tower's fixed location. Details and audible notification is broadcasted when one is activated. Cost $2,000 per activation, lasts 20 seconds. Okay, this is not too bad. $2,000 per activation is a bit. So we'll see. We'll see. Cellular. Redeploy drones have been added to Al Mazrah. Utilize these for quick repositioning. The details can be shot down. Will position when in the gas or reposition. Will begin leaving the field around the 4th circle. That's super interesting. They can be shot down. So I mean, if people are just trying to grief, they could just shoot them down for no reason. I don't know if you could find them like in crates and stuff. It seems like they just kind of are there already. So for the stronghold hold positions, locate and defend a position inside of the stronghold from enemies. The stronghold will be attacked by continuous reinforcements until the operation is complete. So they made a new challenge for the stronghold where you're gonna have to be killing waves of enemies, it seems. Black Site's new stronghold objective. An additional Black Site has been added to Al Mazrah near Rohan Oil in the north sector of the map. We really needed that. Like really needed that. Champions Quest, new weapon blueprint reward. Go find out if you can. So it doesn't even tell you what it is. Okay, I mean, I guess we gotta drop a nuke today. Is that what that means? Gas circle pacing improvements. Decrease the time pause between gas circle movements. This will increase overall pacing across the match. That's super nice. Basically, the games are gonna be a little bit faster. Mirroring a pacing chase to Caldera last year, we've evaluated the delay time between the circle stops and the next start of the next movement. By making an adjustment here, we expect to see more dynamic mid-game. This does not increase the speed of the gas itself in any way. Okay. All maps, all modes, most wanted contract most wanted supply drop now drops on every successful completion. Will no longer deactivate upon resurgence being disabled in Ashika Island. In plunder, it drops money and different power items. Supply drop thing has been increased. Every team can now see the crates icon of the attack map. Stronghold rewards. Reduce the number of white crates in a stronghold that spawn to 1 down from 2. Increase the loot found in the white stronghold supply box. Basically, stronghold supply boxes were different from black sites where you'd only get like 1 streak. In the ones now, I'm assuming you'll be able to get 3 streaks. So essentially, there's 1 less box, which means less money, but there's more streaks you're going to be getting even though it's 1 less box. Intel contract. Basically, the Intel contract is the recon. Most people didn't do it, so they've made it easier to do it, is what this whole paragraph means. And they'll probably say that right here as well. We felt that the initial circle that contained the laptop was too inconsistent with the time it took players to find the laptop on average. So they just made the recon easier and faster. Buy stations. The following items will be available from every buy station with a limited stock. Gas masks, portable radars. We've also made some tweaks to item prices. See details down below. Armor plates increased to 500 up to 400. Gas mask increases to 2,000 from 650. Basically, a whole economy increase. Some inflation is going on up in Al Mazrah. We've got the C4, frag grenade, smoke grenade, snapshot, revive pistol, cluster mine, precision airstrike. So all of these Oh, these are the only things that are unlimited, gas masks and portable radars. Portable radars is a step in the right direction, basically being like a tiny UAV type thing, but you know, obviously not a UAV. Fire sale UAV increased from $5,000 to $4,000, basically a full inflation increase. We're making significant improvements to how we determine the spawn location of buy stations, and this change not only increases the amount of available in a match, but more appropriately spaces them out in their locations. The goal being to address negative space and to reduce frequency of buys being in too close up proximity. Buy stations will remain static in AI Al Mazrah, so that learned behavior can be relied on. Basically, they're adding more shops and hopefully doing it in better locations. So basically, spawn locations updated to increase from 42 up from 31, and change. Okay, yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully a little bit easier. Ammo caches. Additional locations for ammo caches have been added across the map. That's nice. It was easy to run out of ammo. Ashika Island Resurgence. Balance some stuff. Quality of life change. Minimap ping anchoring. Coordinates and map elements that have been pinged will now anchor the icon along the borders of the minimap, even when they're outside of the visible area on the minimap. Spawn protection timeout. Basically, spawn protection was way too good in Al Mazrah. I think they made it to where you don't get as much, or you only get... Oh, spawn protection will now expire on players who remain airborne for more than 10 seconds. So if you're in the air for more than 10, you won't have spawn protection anymore, because basically people were just floating and waiting. And I mean, we need this. This is a good change. Black site key visibility will now be available on the tech map to all squads. Also very nice, where you can see if a black site key is on the map and you can go get it. Loadout drop visuals. Basically, they change your squad loadout from a contested loadout drop, and a contested loadout drop are the ones that spawn in the game. So essentially, if you throw your own loadout down, it'll look different than the ones that just spawn in, blue and yellow being those different colors. Gulag item HUD. Items that a player picks up in the Gulag round will be briefly indicated next to a crosshair before fading away. Object elevation arrows. Buy station contracts and loot will now have a small up and down arrow on the tech map and mini map for better indication of elevation. Something that we also need. This is the new FGX Imperium right here. It looks really good. Fix an issue where quick fix did not activate. A couple other issues. Intel contract. Battery out victories would not update in the combat records. That's pretty nice. Basically, you're getting your wins now. The play again button wouldn't work. Items disappeared after attempting to stow them in the backpack. The advanced UAV would do that. And then bird's eye perk to receive UAV pings when an enemy activated. Yada, yada, yada. A couple DMZ changes. If you want to look through these, you can. These are like new play carriers or something for DMZ. But honestly, I think that is it from the patch notes. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple things in here that I thought were pretty big. Not only, I think something that was small when we were reading it, but you know, it's gonna be really big in the gameplay, are the buy stations. They basically added like 9 buy stations, and they also, I believe, I didn't see it in here, but I'm pretty sure that they did this, change the location of some of the pre-existing ones where they're not as easily campable in that way, you know, which I think is gonna be interesting. The Champions Quest stuff is cool, Stronghold stuff being reworked, the new black site being added, redeploy drones. There's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. So what do you think about it? I mean, I think this is gonna be super interesting, and I'm excited. Oh, 11 buy stations, not 9, which is even better. That is even better. I'm excited for the new Gulag. I wish that they would have added new ground loot, which they may have and not added it in here. I think new ground loot would have been nice. And then the movement changes, of course, we'll see how those affect the gameplay. But overall, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good.
Oh, that's